Hello, this is Heretic Prince. Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k cinematic universe now properly rolling. Have faith. And the Emperor protects. This is an article from IGN written by Wesley N. Poole. This is something that I thought would be fun to cover, and not to mention, I would really like for a show or movie to be coming out that I would actually be excited for, given that Hollywood hasn't really produced anything that I was interested in since Endgame. Anyway, let's get into it. Games Workshop has broken its year-long silence on Henry Cavill's hotly anticipated Warhammer 40k cinematic universe for Amazon, insisting it's now full steam ahead. Now, I have to admit, I recoil a little bit at calling it a cinematic universe. It seems like a bit of a curse for movies and shows that start out anticipating having sequels curse themselves. Hopefully that's not the case here. A year after Amazon Studios announced it had secured the rights to Warhammer 40k and planned to start a universe of Warhammer programming that would be executive produced by and star Henry Cavill, Games Workshop has finally confirmed it has signed a full agreement contract with Amazon, and the next stage can begin. Just for the love of the Emperor, don't do this the same way you did Lord of the Rings. Warhammer 40k is GW's science fiction universe, used as the setting for a hugely popular tabletop wargame starring the iconic Space Marines. It's a grimdark universe in which humanity clings onto survival in the face of terrifying threats within and without the fascist Imperium. Now, for people who know the lore of 40k better than I do, would you say the Imperium is actually fascist, or is it just a totalitarian dictatorship? Or is there really a difference? I'm curious if they're using that word because it fits the description or because it's just simply a very popular word these days. It sounds like GW and Amazon, along with Cavill, are workshopping that Warhammer 40k stories it wants to tell, getting the first script written and then into production. It's unclear whether the project should kick off with a movie or a TV show. GW teases it may end up doing both first. That would be exciting. A movie to kick off the show, or the show to lead into the movie. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of a show preceding the movie, so that way the movie doesn't have to spend time setting up the universe. You already know what you're walking into. And for those who can't stand to see a universe where things aren't happy, sunshine, singing Kumbaya, can keep stepping. All we can tell you right now is that an elite band of screenwriters, each with their own particular passion for Warhammer, is being assembled to help bring the setting and characters you love to the screen. This illustrious group will be championed by Henry Cavill, who stands ready to take his place as executive producer, bringing his pen, sword, and/or spear to the project. While this is certainly exciting news for Warhammer 40k fans, they shouldn't hold their breath for the first look. GW moved to manage expectations by saying it often takes a few years for any film or TV show to materialize after contracts are signed. Well, given how Disney is certainly having a lot of rounds of reshoots, and while I can't remember them off the top of my head, I think a lot of projects have been canceled, particularly in the way of Star Wars. TV and film production is a mammoth undertaking. Once again, it's not unusual for a project to take 2 or 3 years. Still, things are now properly rolling, and you can bet we'll bring you all the latest updates and cool snippets as soon as we're able. And if the people who follow this channel are actually hungry for this information, I will also keep an eye out for any new updates and report them as I am able. Right now, there's no word on who Henry Cavill may play across the Warhammer 40k cinematic universe. However, talking to IGN in 2021, Cavill did express interest in playing one of the Primarchs, or Captain Generals. who are high-ranking key characters from the 40K mythos. And then, I guess jokingly, they say it's going to be Robuto. Is it Robute? Or Reboot? I apologize. Please don't kill me for heresy. I just simply have a hard time with names. But they jokingly say it's going to be Gilliman, Isn't it? Geez, what is wrong with me in English today? Well, I mean, if Henry does play Gilliman, doesn't that mean he gets to have a big titty waifu Eldar by his side? I mean, if I was an actor, that's the move I would make. At the time, Cavill, a famous 40K fan, sounded super excited about the project. Quote, I have loved Warhammer since I was a boy, making this moment truly special for me. The opportunity to shepherd this universe from its inception is quite an honor and responsibility. I couldn't be more grateful for all the hard work put in by Vertigo, Amazon, and GW to make this happen. One step closer to making a nigh-on lifelong dream come true. I mean, that said, I have a lot of hope for this because it's got someone at the helm who is passionate about the project, not just because they want to boost their own name. He's always been a fan of it. As I was reading through these articles, from what I understand, he spent a great deal of the pandemic painting minis to pass the time. I just truly hope he treats it with the respect the IP deserves and that Amazon stays out of his way. And just for a second source of information, I turn to one of my favorite publications, Bounding into Comics. This article, written by Spencer Baculi, who also has a YouTube channel, The Good, the Mav, and the Ugly. If you like his work, I highly suggest that you give the channel a look-see. Headline, Henry Cavill excited to work on Amazon Prime's Warhammer 40K universe. This is the stuff I spent my free time daydreaming about. Now, I find it interesting that the guy who got to be the Man of Steel, and arguably one of the best portrayals of Superman, in spite of the fact that the movies had problems, his true dream is to be a space marine. I mean, that's kind of charming. In offering up further proof as to why he was the right man to helm any adaptation of the popular tabletop game, Henry Cavill has declared that his ongoing work on a 40K film and television series for Amazon Prime has been the greatest privilege of his entire career. The fan favorite Superman actor shared his feelings towards the pair of projects while promoting his new film Argyle during a February 5th appearance on veteran entertainment report Josh Horowitz's Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Horowitz eventually pressed his guest, I know it's early days, but Warhammer, I mean, there's nothing more close to your heart than this. I know this. It must be so exciting to be able to actually, dive into this world and be one of the ones steering this ship and figure out what the world you want to create is on film and TV. What's this experience been like so far? In turn, the actor opined, it's the greatest privilege of my professional career to have this opportunity. Now, saying such a thing gives hope. I just hope it's not false hope. I wonder if Henry can fill all the eyes looking at him like, you better not mess this up. I'm reminded of when Hugh Jackman was selected to play Wolverine, and he talked about the pressure that entailed. He said a person who knew he was going to play Wolverine just simply approached him and said, you're going to play him Canadian, right? And Hugh was like, sure. And the guy was like dead serious. He says, no, you have to play him Canadian. And Hugh was like, I don't know what that means. Wolverine had a very passionate fan base, and so it was very important that he got that role correct. However, we have to remember that Henry was also a person who a interviewer attempted to bait him into saying that fans were toxic, trying to complain about anti-fans. And Henry squashed that. He said, no, they're not toxic. They're passionate. They love these IPs and they want them done right. And hopefully he brings that same energy into 40K. Going on, quote, I can't say too much. Again, it's early days still. But to have this opportunity to bring it to the screen and be at the tiller so it can be faithful is key to me. Much the same way, sorry, I'm going off the article again, much the same way that he did for The Witcher. In fact, there's a lot of speculation that he got let go from that because he demanded things be true to the story of The Witcher. That the show not disrespect something that he loves so much. Sorry, continuing on. This is the stuff I've been dealing with since I was a kid. This is sort of the stuff I spent my free time daydreaming about, as an adult as well. And I get to bring it into life. And there's no greater reason that I joined the industry than doing something like this. And the Bounding into Comics article ends by saying, as of writing, none of Amazon's 40K projects have received a confirmed release date. So unfortunately, for now, those of us who would like to see a 40K show or movie are still kind of twisting in the wind at any time somebody can pull the plug. Someone can decide that it's too expensive, or somebody can decide it's just not made for those new rootin' tootin' modern audiences. But if Hollywood has taught me anything, it's patience. I can sit back and watch the chaff float by, and if this comes out, I'll check it out. If not, well, it was a nice dream. If you would like for me to keep covering this news, please let me know in the comments. Give a like, maybe even a subscribe so you know whenever I keep covering it. As always, thank you so much for listening and letting me share my thoughts with you.